Thank you for your patience in listening to that People's State of Nation address. It was quite elaborate, but we invite one or two clarifications. Asha, will you take questions?
We can take questions. Anyone who has a question or clarification, and we'll be sharing the statement. Yes. Kindly introduce yourself and the media house.
So does Kenya, or does your team have made plans to conduct an independent investigation?
In matters of this nature, the state must be involved. They are the ones holding the numbers, and they are the ones using the taxes we raise. So this is not just a call, it's a demand that this should be done. And I want to remind us that we do not know how many more bodies may be beneath the quarry. We know that good citizens who were trying to recover the bodies were tear gassed by police and stopped from this venture. We know the state has not shown any interest. We know of falsification of records. We are calling out the regime, the Ruto regime. They must account. These are calls for accountability. Yeah. And it's the same, even in the recent school fire. We have not been given definitive numbers. And even no empathy is coming from the house on the hill. They are going on with business as usual. We do not even know whether there is enforcement to ensure safety measures in all the schools.
Another question? Yes?
But now not.
Maybe you can comment on the issue about the withdrawal of the security from the judge.
Would you like to do that?
Yeah, so it's very unfortunate that because Masengeli was found guilty, that he conveniently withdraws security from the judge. And we also know that there have been personal calls to the judge's drivers and security on his whereabouts. So of course we suspect that the intention is probably to eliminate the judge. And it's unfortunate that judges are entitled to security by virtue of their work. So it's a cowardly act from Masengeli. But then again, you know, I'm actually not surprised that Masengeli is acting the way he's acting. Because these are people who have no respect for the rule of law. They have no respect for the constitution. You all must recall that part of the reason why the constitutional order in this country is failing is because we have somebody at the helm who never really supported this constitution. You all recall that in 2010, President William Ruto mounted a campaign against the Constitution of Kenya, 2010. So the fact that he disrespects, doesn't respect judicial authority, security of the judges, you know, it doesn't surprise me. In fact, I'm surprised Kenyans are surprised by the fact that this president doesn't respect the rule of law. But it is very, to be honest for you, it's very mediocre of him to actually do that. We know it's because Masengeli is supposed to be, and you know, the tragedy of this is this. You have police officers who are supposed to enforce court orders. Now, when they disobey court orders, what are we looking into? We are looking into a jungle country. Anarchy. We are looking into anarchy. Because if the policemen do not respect the orders of the court, then what do you expect Kenyans to do? This is anarchy in the making. And President William Ruto should be held accountable for that. I don't even know why he appointed this fellow Masengeli.
But just one point to add on to that. Remember, the Constitution makes the employer of every policeman, not the president, not anybody, but the people of Kenya through the National Police Commission. We want to ask the National Police Commission to wake up. They are in slumber. They should sanction their employee, one Masengeli. And if they are afraid of Ruto and his regime. They should go home and not take our money for work not done.
Perhaps we'll take more few questions, but just to add on to that, it is also a deterrent measure to the other judges, so that in case any matter comes to court, judges develop cold feet. So for us, it's an intimidation tactic, and judiciary should stand up because it's an independent arm. It's a doctrine of separation of powers, allows judiciary to stand up, and we're telling Kenyans we should not go back to that route. The judge was doing his job and should not be persecuted or used as an intimidation tactic to other judges. So the next question.
Sydney Kavina. Question is, you've mentioned something to do about the sale of the leasing of JKIA, and now we are seeing that the Minister of Energy is talking about giving Adani part of the grid, national grid. The question is, we've seen blackouts of machines flooding at the JKIA, which look premeditated, and someone mentioned that there might be a local hand getting that bill in the face of Adani. What is your take on that?
Dr. Muhisa will answer that.
I don't want to spread rumors, but I can say this as a fairly easy thing to see. Some thief from India called Adani cannot arrive in Kenya and all of a sudden take over things. Adani is the face of a cartel that includes top leadership in Kenyan politics. It is not about Adani. You saw the case of a similar thief in South Africa. It's a cartel that what the Guptas did in South Africa is what Adani is trying to do here. But what to ask Ruto is, if predecessors to him, some of whom, most of whom also had appetite for money, did not pound the family silver to the end, like he's doing, what gives him the moral authority to think that he can be a better thief than those who came before him?
Yes, your name and media house, kindly.
My name is Kevin.
Yeah.
I have two questions. What can you, in a scale of 1 to 10, how can you rate this regime? And maybe going forward, can we expect to see this team working together?
F for failure. And you are asking about this team?
Yeah.
Yes, let Dr. Muhisa emphasize that about the team.
You know, there is a national failing in Kenya that if a few people offer leadership on critical matters, the rest of us go into retirement and let them do it for us. For a long time, Kenyans have asked Raila to carry the burdens for them, ask the questions on their behalf. And when Raila crosses over, they start feeling that it's a desert. Similarly, when Gen Z started showing that there's still the blood of national pride in a young generation in this country, a lot of others stepped back and said, let the Gen Zs take it. But what message are we saying? We share responsibility for the tomorrow of this country. We have shared experience and pride about service in public life, where we have served with integrity, without letting greed override us. And we say we are called upon to start renewing our commitment and offer dutiful service to Kenya. We are part of a progressive effort that must reclaim our country. We are just starting now the re-engagement. You are not only going to see us together, you're going to see us with many more people who share the solid commitment and patriotic duty for a clean, decent Kenya, that not the laughing stock of Africa, but the pride that it once was.
Maybe a vote of thanks by one or two of the youths accompanying us.
Yes, we are grateful to our leaders who have come together to speak on the issues that hurt the country. And we are firmly behind them as the youth of this nation, because we want leadership that is informed by the love for this country and the future of this country. So as the youth of this country, we are solidly behind them and affirming that we are going to stand behind every leader who stands for integrity, who stands for accountability, and who stands for responsibility for anyone who is in office. Thank you.
So that's the end.
Thank you very much. That's the end of our presser today. We thank you so much for making time to come and listen to the State of the Nation address. Asanteni sana.
I had a phone.
Share the statement.
We will share the statement for your